It's Sunday morning, blue skies. We're going to go and climb up a hill in a minute, Pots and Pans, which is near Saddleworth, for a memorial thing for Armistice Day, because it was September the 11th. Sorry, not September the 11th, November the 11th on Friday. Anyway, as you know, I like big machines. I don't like driving long distances. So, what do you think? Would I get enough people watching my YouTube channel to be able to buy one of these? Potentially, this actually costs less than a Bateman sprayer. Just looking at this though, burning a bit sooty, isn't it? Very sooty. It's like the back of a Peugeot 306 when someone had twiddled with the fuel pump. Not that anyone ever used to do that. When you see a helicopter, you never realise how wide the blades are. I can't really stand next to it for scale, but they are a good sort of foot wide, maybe 18 inches. Look at that view. So this has been working in the area, and it's been parking up at Charlotte's mum and dad's for the week. It's used for load lifting, that's why you can see this hook hung off the bottom, and then it has an electric release on it, dropping things. It's even got LED lights. Clearly that's on upside down because that says top at the bottom. Oh yeah, Back to the Future it was yesterday, where we're going. We don't need roads. We don't need one of them either. I think we're actually going to be above the clouds in a minute, aren't we? Off we go. You can't see on the camera, but that is like really steep. Still a fair way to go. You panting? Still a bit to go. What do they say? The harder the climb, the better the view. That reservoir's pretty big. I got that guy there to stand next to it for scale. So that's where we're heading for before 11 o'clock for a memorial service by that. But it's a bit of a trek. It's now 20 to 11. Then we've got 15 minutes to get across there. There's the view. You see Manchester there. And then Liverpool is in the haze. It's really, really warm. Olivia's lagging behind a little bit. But we've 10 minutes to go down this ravine, then up the other side. You can't see home, it's too hazy though. There's Manchester again. We're here with 8 minutes to spare. Olivia will be here with 6 minutes to spare. Having fun? Glad I wasn't the one that carried the trumpet up.
Lovely walk up, and realising it got hotter and hotter on the climb up the hill.
Skinny Maloney. Kid's book, wasn't it? I'm sure when I was a kid it was called Skinny Maloney, but now it's been named Bits of Maloney. I think that's the A380. Yeah. And it didn't fly over during the minute's silence, so I wonder is that deliberate, that air traffic controls stop them. Someone not too well, Mountain Rescue doing a great job. They've got a stretcher, I think they're going to carry them down. Hope they make a speedy recovery. Olivia's going to do a Simba moment, holding Chester off the rock. You ready?
Get ready.
There we go. There's the cloud as well.
Get a picture.
Chester, I have got a picture. Chester, boom. There's the cloud there. Just got a really good video of the clouds rolling off the hills. Gonna walk down now, Olivia.
No,
Chester.
can't get him in the right position. Yes.
Remember the view 2 hours ago? Well, now the fog's come down. Pheasants. You smiling because you've been spoilt by Granny while we've been out walking? Not bad for a gas guzzler. It was a bit bumpy though, because it's stuck in access mode. So when I set off this morning, it didn't want to rise, so it's been sat on the floor and it's been dead bouncy. That might be why I did loads to the gallon, because it was cutting through the air because it was really low. So I think I might have to ring Land Rover Assist up. Quite a bit of green waste came in over the weekend, so I'm just going to shove it up now. My sister and my mum got a wheelbarrow full of stuff for making reeves, so they want me to dig something out at the back of the pile for them. I was thinking that we could have sown a little bit of wheat today, but time's got on now, so we'll probably have a look in the morning, see if we can get it done before the rain. There's forecast quite a bit of rain this week, mainly on Tuesday, so we'll have to see how dry the field is. I don't know what it is, but it's spiky. I wouldn't want a reef made out of it. Saw this on the motorway on the way home before. A load of motorbikes circling Manchester to make a red poppy around the M60. So here it is. Like the TT. I just come to look at this wheat because Andrew came the other day to put some slug pellets on it, and when he got it, didn't really need it, but he gave it a dead light dose, just as a little bit of, maybe a little tiny bit of grazing here where we've got some chopped straw, but looks amazing, as does the sunset. This is the field that has quite a lot of moss in it, and it's just grows up nicely through the moss. So it's a few bits of broadleaf weeds that just seem to be dying off now quite slowly. The oilseed rape has mostly died off that was growing in at the Volunteers, and that's obviously what's fed the slugs so that the wheat has been able to grow. I mean, you can see here, this is quite a mat really of rape straw. Little bit perhaps of grazing, it's a bit thin in places, but it's all there. The only fields this year we've had any slug grazing on are the ones that weren't oilseed rape. I know I just said that we put a little bit of slug pellets on this, but to be honest, it didn't need it. If I'd have come on the slug pellets, well, to be honest, it was because it was what was left in the tank, but If the tank had been empty, we wouldn't have put any on here at all. It's fine. It's OSR stubble, straight into wheat. I mean, if you look here, that's what the slugs are still grazing. So yeah, I suppose it's working with nature, letting the slugs have something to eat other than what we're putting in the field. It'd be nice if it's still dry in the morning and we can get this last field sown. It's about 27 acres. It's got 3 wet holes in it, but if we go round, that's 4. It's got 3 wet holes in it, but if we go round them, it's fine. It doesn't matter. We can manage with that because they'll basically be wet till March. Sorry about the road noise, but there's a motorway down there. Someone said the other day when I was talking about the ploughs and them hiding behind the sheds at Ellis Machinery that they can't farm without a plough. That might be an opinion, but if you do plough, I urge you to have a go. Think differently. Don't think because you can't see the crop for the stubble or through the weeds or through the volunteers that you've not got a crop. But it's very expensive ploughing, and like it or not, it uses a lot of diesel and it gives off a lot of carbon, and it encourages more erosion. Now, I don't like ploughing because I can't afford to plough. I'd sooner spend the money on other things like land, but it's the way it's going. And someone was trying to say I shouldn't say that you can't farm without a plough, that you should get away with ploughs because I'm an influencer and it's bad. Well, I'm sorry, but I think people need to try new ideas because nature never ploughed. Just remember that the plough is a relatively modern invention compared to agriculture. All you need to do is get the seed in the soil. And if you imagine the seed and the soil is in a good structure from the crop it just grew last year, which was the OSR, I've just put a wheat seed into it, and all it's going to do is find the easiest route down the root canals of the old OSR plants, and that makes it healthy, keeps the soil hard and structured with vertical lines. All the plough does is tumbles it all over, makes the soil look black, so when you plant a seed you get these nice green rows. Looks fantastic, but it isn't nature. We're forcing it. We're tumbling the soil up and down and forcing the seed back into it, and we don't need to. As long as we've got glyphosate, we can just direct drill. In fact, over my acreage, I'd say I save between 50 to 100,000 a year not having to plough and work ground, whether that be in diesel, labour, time, extra machinery, whichever. And if you put all that together, that's probably enough to pay £1.5 million mortgage, which is probably enough to buy another farm. Not a very big farm, but I just know what Brookhouse cost me. So there you go, it's your choice. And don't say that there's less yields from direct drilling. The highest yielding crops I've ever grown have been through a direct drilling system, especially when the dry weather affects us more than anything. Yeah, you'll get wet years and disasters, but you can get them through most systems as well. But it's learning how to cope with them, and having a big drill like that one behind me there makes it a lot easier to direct drill because you've just got sheer capacity for when the going's good. A lot of people say that it buries weeds. It does, but they just plough them straight back up the next year, or they pop up in the spring after you put your herbicide on. Now, I don't want to be all completely evangelical about direct drilling and no-till, but I learned a lot off the farming forum about it sort of 10 to 15 years ago and started, and our land wasn't ready and we went through a strip till system with the Claydon first until the land was ready. But if you get it right, there's a lot of money to be saved. Also, yeah, don't forget, I have got a 10 for a plough. I bought it thinking that we'd get a better weed control for growing the sunflowers this year. We ploughed, we didn't get better weed control. So I know the plough wasn't set up exactly the best, but I think the year before we had better weed control when we didn't even attempt to plough. That's enough of the gospel according to Ollie on direct drilling. Here is today's birthday bumper, and we are now at £16,034. Absolutely amazing. So it took 3 weeks to go up to £2,000, which is great. Anyway, Stephen Braun, 41. Scott Wardlow is 35. Isaac is 19. We've got a Brian, I think it was Betsy, said happy birthday, but no second name, sorry. Lord Barry, Robert Holt's 20. Katie Campbell is 9. Jamie Lee is 67, and Robert Jackson. So happy birthday everyone on there. There's a link below every single video so that you can add yourself on the birthday bumper, or you can take a picture of the screen now and it'll take you to the website where you can go on it. Anyway, that is about all for today. Don't forget the Real Country File is out today as well. There's a link below this video, so go and check that out, and I'll see you all tomorrow.